Hey, welcome back to another Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews, the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting over here in the driver's seat.
Yep.
And I'm repping my Joey Abel shirt. So check that out, Joey Abel. Get your Renegade shirt at Renegades R Us or T-shirts R Us or wherever Joey Abel merchandise is sold. You can definitely get it May 18th at Pro Wrestling Ego's Path to Pride 6. Definitely get it there for sure in Pearl, Mississippi. So the tradition continues. The path to the pride continues.
Damn path.
So number 6, coming up. So looking forward to that. Quick rundown of results from our short drive down to Poplarville, Mississippi. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Wes Warren, he defeated the debuting Vladimir Koloff. So it was really cool. First time I got to see the big man, and big man got moves. So he just didn't have the moves to beat Wes Warren. So I was impressed. A little bit of shock value there with Vladimir, and I dug it. So had that match. Then we had one of the hometown favorites, a member of the church. He used to be a former wrestler. I guess technically, once you're a wrestler, you're always a wrestler.
Yeah.
But Crazy Charlie, we had a guy named MT2, and I don't know much about MT2, but he came and decided to run down the event, run down the church, how it was Bush League and this and that, and blah 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 blah. And Crazy Charlie came out of the crowd, and a straight jacket later, and poor M2T went to sleep.
I always get a church in a straight jacket.
Yeah, so following that defeat, we just dragged old MT2 out to the street and left him out by the edge of the road with the rest of the trash. So
he get picked up on Tuesday.
yeah, I'm sure he's probably still asleep. That straight jacket signature hold that Crazy Charlie has is pretty vicious.
Yep.
But overall, the crowd was into that because it was the guy they knew. So then we saw the Nightmare known as Jeremiah come to the ring, and his opponent was Colt Storm. Colt's kind of been on undefeated streak at Ego, but it was quickly ended as he faced the Nightmare, and following a double underhook pile driver DDT pedigree looking thing, nail in the coffin, and it was over. And then we had Brittany Lynn. She represented Team Roll Tide, took on Bristol Hale, and unfortunately Bristol Hale was a little bit quicker than Brittany Lynn and caught Brittany with the schoolgirl.
She bunny hopped her way into the win.
So, and that took us to the main event. We saw JD Jenkins defend his championship against Chris Black and the other member of Team Roll Tide, Frankie Thomas, in a pretty exciting three-way. We saw a chop battle between JD and Chris Black. Frankie and Chris Black had words. They tried to double team JD at the beginning, but he was too much of a full-time beast for them, so they decided to fight it out amongst themselves of who would fight JD. So
hey, only one person can win.
Yeah, one person could win, and that one person was JD Jenkins, and he's still your Pride champion. So that's the results. A little quick rundown of our trip down to Poplarville. Like I said online, it was a small but supportive fan base there. I'm almost certain only 2 or 3 people there had seen wrestling before. So hey, it was a eye-opener. The preacher said that it was the best wrestling show he had ever seen, but of course this was the first one he had ever seen. So we set the bar high, But overall, that was a fun time. And we don't have a train this time in the background. We have an airplane. I don't know if you can hear that.
It's a jumbo jet.
But we're sitting right near the airport here in Jackson, Mississippi. And I guess we're going to get loud every so often.
Sorry about that. So,
watching your wrestling?
Yeah, I watched a little MLW and like 2 old tag matches this weekend.
Okay. Lay it on us with the MLW report.
I have to look it up. Give me a minute.
He don't know. While he's doing that, I started a binge watching the NWA 10 Pounds of Gold series. They're like 52 episodes in. I watched the first 2 when they first came out, and then other stuff came up and I just forgot. Well, I rediscovered them. I'm up to about episode 15 or so. I will say phenomenal work with the guys from the NWA. One of the comments that I read was, how could a company that isn't a company make me, care about their title? So, I don't know what he was watching.
Sorry.
So,
she got a bad voice.
I kind of get that. Like, I kind of get that same vibe. I mean, you're a company that really isn't a company. I mean, you are putting out product, but not in the conventional way, and I really dig it. So go check those episodes out. Right now, I'm up to the episode leading into All In, where Nick Aldis defended the belt against Cody Rhodes, and
Cody held it about a month.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool though. It's good build up. It's like little mini documentaries, just little build ups to every match. Now some maybe 3 or 4 episodes long as far as the build up. They tell the whole story there. But overall, I really am enjoying those. So kudos to those at the NWA for putting out something that is highly entertainable, or entertaining, not entertainable. I guess I'm entertainable because I let them entertain me.
True.
But yeah, so that's what I've been watching. What about you?
Here's what the show was. The main event is going to be Hart Dynasty versus, the Hart Foundation versus the Dynasty.
So a 6-man
table match.
Okay, 6-man though. All 6 guys.
Well, they jump Brian.
Okay, take him out
and take his shoulder out. So you're not sure if he's going to be there or not. He shows up.
Okay, yeah.
But they all hit their good high spots. Sadly, nobody was ever trying to go through a table to the very last move, so I kind of knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
But Mr. Hammer put Mr. Pillman through the turnbuckle power bomb. Yeah.
Cool.
And it was one of them lovely doors we've been seeing lately.
It's the exploding doors. Explodes upon contact, huh?
The first match was actually Jordan Oliver. He's a young guy, like 19 years old, versus Cotto Brazil.
Yeah.
And I was like, Cotto, come on. Nope.
I watched that match. What was your impression of Jordan Oliver?
Not bad, honestly. Small guy. I think they exaggerated his weight somewhat. A whole lot, by like 50 pounds at least.
I mean, when I say this could be what he's going for, or it could be an insult. I'm not really sure. But, there's a site out there called like Trash Baggers and all that. I felt like he was probably like the star of the Trash Baggers. Like what M-Dog 20 and Josh Prohibition was to backyard wrestling, I felt like this guy was probably that to Trash Bag Wrestling.
It's possible. He was talented.
No, he was good, but like... He wasn't like really in shape, but he wasn't a fat guy. You know what I mean?
He wasn't fat.
He's just a normal looking dude.
Yeah,
but
no
like
muscle.
he had like, Academy Sports kick pads on, and like I found some jogging pants that were camouflaged, and I cut that off.
Aunt Jemima's do-rag.
Yeah, and then he had so I mean, like he looked like he was straight out of Trash Bag Wrestling. Now, if that's what he's going for, you nailed it.
It's funny because Daryl said the exact same thing.
If that wasn't what you were going for, then. My bad. So I guess I insulted you.
Well, if you look at him and then you go to that page, you're like, you could see it.
Right. So,
but as far as the work went, he was fine. The finish was freaking awesome.
Right. Yeah. No, it was good. It just felt like man, like you're trying to showcase, hey, we got this, and then you got that, and I'm like, But now he didn't get the victory, quote unquote. Like it was, it led to a storyline with, they brought back the Ricky Martinez thing with Cotto Brazil. So that part I like. Like, he got the victory just because he was in the ring. You know what I mean? So, either way, it was a good match. All right, what else?
Oh, here it is. Ray Horace versus Ace Austin.
Oh, how was that?
That match was awesome. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed that match.
Did it save the show? Or did it make the show? Like, take that match out, what would you rank the show?
I like the tables match. It was decent. It just nobody really tried to go through a table.
I got you.
I thought the first match with Cotto and
it wasn't bad. No, I mean it wasn't a bad match.
But I thought this was the match that would actually carry the show.
Right. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Rey Mysterio's nephew.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Okay.
And Ace Austin's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just had a hell of a match. I mean, I recommend watching that. It was probably a good 15-minute match.
I'm probably going to watch that match. I don't know if I'm watching the tables match.
It was good for what it was. Yeah. It's just they don't really try to go.
I'm just not a big fan of any of those guys, other than Harry. I like Harry, and I like Hammerstone. Like, take the rest out. I'd like to just see like Ace and Hammerstone just go at it. I mean, not Ace, but Harry and Hammerstone just go at
They
it like
did.
a wild brawl.
That's what I'm saying,
you
they
know.
did.
But by themselves, you know what I mean? Like no
It's
other.
got to build from something.
Yeah, no other people out there. So I dig that. But it's kind of all I really watched. I mean, I watched a few Harley race promos. I'm really getting into some of that older stuff with Harley. He had a really cool promo. He was promoting the Tony Atlas, and he was like, "I'm not a striptease artist. I'm not a bodybuilder. What this body is the body of a wrestler, and that's the reason I'm the champion." I'm like, you know what? That's freaking awesome. So I'm like, that's an awesome line. You know what I mean?
Like back in the day when Ole Anderson would reference the other wrestlers using to get the muscles.
So I really dug that. Harley, like, as horrible as he was at promos, he was really good at promos. Like, it almost made him, you know, that like, I'm not out here trying to get your attention. I'm out here trying to talk real, you know. And I really liked it. So took me a second to kind of get into it or whatever. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and I did walk away a fan. So I watched several Harley promos.
Well, the match I was saying I watched was actually 2 Road Warrior, and they were jobber matches.
Okay.
I mean, these guys killed some poor jobbers.
Oh yeah, they always did.
And I was just like, God, these guys got nothing but paid.
Yeah.
I mean, because they got beat up, bro.
And the thing is, you know, the Road Warriors would treat veterans just like jobbers too.
Yeah,
you know, like you hear the story of like Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher or whatever. It's like, we're not doing this, and then he's like, sure, kid.
Somebody shared them on Facebook, man, and for some reason I was like, I want to check these out, and I was like, oh my God, they probably wasn't 4 minutes apiece.
Right.
But I mean, these guys, I think one guy, he tried to throw a drop kick, and I mean, Animal's like,
catch it,
man. Sorry about that. Damn fly come up in the ring.
So,
but murder him, and they were always doing that damn the clothesline off the shoulders. It just
so it's crazy.
Jesus.
But we did something last week. We did like a little unboxing or whatever. And I know you went thrift store hunting and found some gems.
Well, no, actually, I went to it was kind of a flea market type thing. A friend of mine, he's really into Hot Wheels, and he just wanted me to go with him. I said, well, since we're doing this, I said, I'm going to look for just vintage wrestling stuff.
Okay.
I wound up getting $23 worth of stuff. I only brought 2 of the things I brought.
So you'll have more to...
I got a hell of a lot more.
Okay.
Out of $23, which is really surprising.
Yeah.
But I don't have a fancy box like you.
So, grocery store, Walmart bag.
Walmart bag, here
All
we
right,
come.
here
But
we
you
go.
can't tell what it is, and he hasn't looked in
Let
it.
me just from what I can see, I see a bearded guy and pink tights. I'm going to take a guess and say, are they the same person?
No.
Okay, not the same person.
Same pose damn near though.
I'm going to say Macho Man and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Let's see if I'm right.
Got one, you get the other one.
Reach in, not look. And we got Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. Look at those,
Dude,
look at them guns.
You ought to have seen these things. They were covered in some kind of brown, sticky filth that I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, they really look like they're still covered in it for the most part.
But I mean, compared to what these things were damn near black.
Really?
And I got them for $5 a piece.
1985, yeah. 1985 LJN figure B from Titan Sports.
Well,
See that right on
really
the
good shape.
right on his booty there. I don't know if you can see that. There's some writing right there. But yeah, I'd say phenomenal shape. You got a little discoloration on the feet.
Yeah, but hell, they're made in 84. I'm still scrubbing on stuff, you know.
But yeah, I kind of dig it. Yeah. So we'll just set that.
Bro, you couldn't tell what color this guy was when I got in there. But you gonna block the camera
Right there.
I'll hold it.
You hold that up. All right. In the bag. Boom, 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 boom. We got Macho. This is from 1985 as well. LJN Titan Sports. This is figure C. So I guess Paul, Mr. Wonderful, was more important than Macho Man at this point in time, which I guess it probably was right.
At this point, I think this is when he was feuding with Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm not positive.
And old Macho King over here was probably fighting it out with Zeus or somebody. So check that out.
That's probably Steamboat
side
at that
view.
point.
Yeah, probably so. There's the back view.
But I mean,
a little better cut. Like the paint still held up on him for the most part of his feet. He got a little bit on the face. That's kind of.
He wasn't as covered as bad as Paul. Paul was damn near a black guy at this point when I had to scrub it off of him.
Very awesome figures. I appreciate you donating these to me.
No.
Oh crap. And that's it. So what's your favorite Macho matches? Like I know there's a lot of them. He had several different remakes of his character.
Actually, my feud that I liked the most out of him, it was in WCW.
Yeah.
And it was actually him.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas Page.
How I know that.
Yeah, and for the fact that he helped put Diamond Dallas Page over, he goes, I think tonight I feel like taking a cutter, brother. So
you've done risen to the top.
He did everything, and he put the guy over. And Randy wasn't known for really putting guys over.
Well, that's the cool thing, though. When they did, it meant something.
Yeah, exactly. So. He's like, I done beat you like 199 times.
Yeah.
I'll give you this one.
Yeah. I really dig... I was a big Macho Man fan as a babyface, but I think Macho King was probably one of my favorites now that I've kind of gone back and watched. I'm a huge Sherry Martel fan, so I buy into that concept that if you put Sherry with them, they mean more.
Damn near.
And I really dig that. So, I think it worked for Shawn Michaels. I think it worked for Harlem Heat. If you put Sherry with Rhythm and Blues, she was Susie Q. I mean, come on, look what it did to the Honky Tonk Man.
And like Paul Orndorff, I tell you, the match I remember with him was the cage match with Hogan, and they're coming down at the same time.
Yeah.
And Hogan beats him by like this much.
Well, this is gonna show my age, and I'm probably the only fan of this tag team that is either A, still living, or B, not insane. But it was Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma. Pretty wonderful.
Yep, pretty wonderful.
I really now I was 7 or 8 years old.
Exactly.
But I always liked it. He had the Mr. Wonderful on the jacket and pretty, and like I thought it worked. Going back now, a lot of people, they go back and go, oh well, Paul Roma wasn't that great of a worker or whatever. He's got a bad reputation for whatever reason.
He was a horseman.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people hate that too.
But still.
But I really dug. Pretty Wonderful. I really like that team. So, I liked Paul Roma and Hercules as well. So, Power and Glory, I really like that.
Well, next time I bring these in, there will be 2 more of these action
figures. Okay, the LJNs?
I'll give that away. And I'll just say that one of them is a Mississippi representative.
Okay. I've heard about this this statue that you have. Bring it as well. I want to see that.
Well. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that. And then look forward. We're going to do an unboxing video that's separate from this video and try to get it up to this week. So be sure to check that out. I want to just spend a little more time on it because it's got like 25 items in it. But
well, I showed you a video a while ago. I wanted to get your thoughts upon Mr. Sterling absolutely losing his mind, I do believe.
Well, I think his mind was a bit lost already because
I think homeboy that went to outer space. He's done lived in the stirs.
Yeah, has he?
Yeah.
The one thing about Sterling, Stardust, Jim Sterling, the Stir Master.
Yeah.
The Stir Creator, I guess.
Like he's stirring it up.
Yeah. He does have to give to Gab.
Yeah. Great. It's awesome.
And the guy can promo his socks off. Promo you out of your socks. You know what I mean? Or however the old saying goes, knock your socks off. But I do think he's a bit delusional in the fact that he feels like he's not important in pro wrestling.
Damn it.
That he's losing his way down the cards, moving his way down the card, and they're not on posters and this and that, and they're being mistreated.
But when you're as handsome as me and Jim Sterling, you have to be on posters.
Well, my thought is you are a tag team champion.
Awesome looking referee. What the hell am I on the poster for?
Well, you're not a champion. So
I can try.
I will say that he may have a point there.
Yeah, true.
On the other hand, he may not have a point, but I think the point he was making is that he's insane, and I do think that's right. So,
but he's fixing to come back with a new look, the gold.
He did show a gold hand in his promo. I don't know if he's just like Winnie the Pooh and was sticking his hand down in the honey jar and look, honey, and licked it off his hand. So I don't know if any of that was going on, but he did have a gold hand. And I guess we'll find out just what he said he's going to rise it from the dust.
Yeah, from dust.
So is it going to be a phoenix rising from the ashes?
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out May 18th at Path to Pride 6 in Pearl, Mississippi, when the tradition continues. Headlined by Federated Champion Chance Allren, taking on Styles Champion Ray Fury. And John Davis has set his sights on the Pride Championship, regaining it. He faces JD Jenkins, and I have to say Chuck McMullen had a little bit of putting that together. So, as after the attack of JD Jenkins.
Have you talked to Chuck since he went?
He is avoiding my phone calls.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but he made that match. Said JD has never beat John Davis, but John Davis has beat JD, and what he's trying to do is take that title off of JD. So we're gonna find that out too, May 18th, Pearl, Mississippi.
One last question involving Jim: is there a tag match at the
There is a tag match, but unfortunately I'm not going to tell Jim Sterling who it is. So
look,
I will say it's going to be an Ego regular and a blast from the past, so to speak, from Mississippi wrestling history.
Is it funky?
It smells sometimes.
Gotcha.
So we will see how Jim Sterling handles that tag team. I was about to say their name, and I'm glad I didn't. But until then,
oh yeah, watch wrestling.
Watch wrestling. That's it. Later, guys.